we spent a few days in Cordova, and then eventually we headed out and left Prince William Sound, headed towards Kayak Island in the Gulf of Alaska.
Glacier is just inland here, and it's got all this flowing out of all this silt, light coloured water, and lots of logs. You've got to keep dodging around all these big trees like that one. Guess what? Today is the summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year, which also means it's my birthday. So I just turned 32, and we've got pancakes for breakfast, and I've got some cards and presents to open over there afterwards. I'm going ashore. We're in a pretty amazing place, Kayak Island. Very happy to be here. Just come ashore here on Kayak Island. This is apparently the exact spot that back in 1741 George Steller was he was part of the Bering expedition, and he was the first guy to set foot on shore here, which was apparently from a European perspective anyway, he was credited with discovering Alaska. But then he swapped some things with the local natives here, and so yeah, obviously people were here before him. So perfectly round, these are amazing.
We've been seeing a lot of bear prints around and bear scat, so we're kind of on the lookout. It's one of the most annoying things about these tides is that we have to drag the dinghy so far back to get it back in the water.
We've only been ashore for about half an hour as well, and look. Gotta drag it all that way. Pretty dramatic. That's Cape St. Elias. And if we go around the corner, there is well, on the chart it looks like a bit of a really dodgy bay that'll be really open to the ocean swell, but we're hoping we might be able to get in there and drop the anchor long enough to sneak ashore, because there's an amazing lighthouse kind of etched into the edge of the cliff. It'd be spectacular to be able to go ashore and have a look at it. So being my birthday, fingers crossed, maybe we'll get ashore there.
There's so many birds out here. I wonder what they're all doing. It's perfect conditions to get in and anchor here, so you can go and explore. Looks awesome.
You can see where the land looks like it finishes over there. That's where this Kayak Island used to end. But then in the earthquake of 1964, so that bit over 50 years ago, that whole strip of extra coastline all the way out there, and it runs for like 20 miles down there, the whole length of the island. That whole thing just came out of the sea, and it's still not on charts that were published like in 2012. Our chart just has this thing there going obstruction. But yeah, this huge extra bit of coastline just came up out of the ocean. A bit scary, and all around here the depths are sort of pretty unknown. Guess this is where all those logs we've been finding out at sea, this must be where they come to die. Billions of them. Ripe salmon berries, let's go, before the bears eat them. Oh, just perfectly ripe. Really good, have one. This place is amazing for beachcombing. So many different floats and logs and bottles, and we're hoping for maybe a little glass float or something. Look, something that's not made of wood and isn't a fishing float. A dinghy registered in Panama. Looks a bit overgrown, I think.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's anyone here?
Looks pretty looked up. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, amazing. Wow. Where are we?
We're at the top of St. Elias Lighthouse. Still wax. I'm amazed.
It's so warm up here.
It's like a glass house. Wow.
Pretty cool view though. Pretty cool.
Very cool. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Yay! Happy birthday!
What an amazing place to have a birthday. The landscape out there is incredible.
We're heading into Icy Bay. You can feel the cold coming straight off the mountains. It's freezing. Feels like we're heading into a freezer. This is the remote Icy Bay Lodge. We're anchored just in front of it, and we just met the owners and they've offered to give us some fish for tonight. Beats a bit of pasta and lentils.
Look at these. That's moose track. Must have been a giant moose walking around here since the last tide went out. It's pretty cool. Keep our eye open for that.
Look at all the salmon and halibut we just got given from the Icy Bay Lodge. So generous of them. And to top it off, we even have some apple crumble. Yum.
Look at that. King salmon, halibut. Incredible. So lucky. So here we are, just leaving Icy Bay. We've been stuck in here for almost a week now of bad weather. And every day we went ashore, we'd see moose tracks, and we went on quite a long walk and still didn't see one. And just on our way out now, 3 moose right on the headland as we went past in beautiful morning lighting. Within about 5 minutes of getting in last night, we were on board a fishing boat that gave us amazing steak dinner, and then he said just go to the local fish factory and pretend you're from his boat, and we got to use the showers and
all for free in the
washing machine. Amazing.
All the coastal communities we've visited in Alaska all have these tsunami evacuation route signs. I would really hate to be in a tsunami here though. Totally flat.
Keep running.
We had such a great time in Yakutat. Yesterday, as we were just getting ready to go, we went ashore and to check the latest weather reports and things, and this awesome guy called Les intersected us and was like, oh hey, you guys from the sailboat. Oh, and we got chatting a little bit, and he offered to take us for a tour around Yakutat, which was awesome, and we met his family as well, and then his daughter had the day off work, so she offered to take us boogie boarding. Can you imagine boogie boarding in Alaska? Something we thought we'd never do, but yeah, so awesome to meet such wonderful people. It really made the experience amazing, and this town's just great. We're about to go surfing in Alaska, in the Gulf of Alaska.
Why would we want to do such a thing?
Because we met this crazy girl called Sonia, and she's convinced us that it's what the locals do around here, go surfing.
She lent us wetsuits, complete with gloves and boots and hoods, because the water's freezing. There's a glacier that's putting in ice just around the corner. And it was incredible to think that we were there. You know, it was a fairly bad weather day, and the swell was quite big, and we were dreading going out into it anyway. So we were much happier instead playing in the waves. This is amazing. Bodyboarding in Alaska.
What's the temperature of the water?
About 0.
This is amazing. I'm not cold at all. Unbelievable.
Better to be in the surf, in the waves, than out there sailing at the moment today?
Better do boogie boarding than surfing on teleport.
There was And just this morning before we were about to go, there was a local guy, a native guy doing his subsistence hunting or fishing, and he went down to the river and he was catching all of these salmon, and then he filleting them right on the back of the truck and throwing the scraps aside. And there were a whole bunch of seagulls and crows and even some big bald eagles that would just swoop down and grab the scraps of fish. And Jess and I were just sitting there, you know, couldn't get enough photos of these eagles and putting cameras on the ground and having them swoop down over the top. But just an amazing opportunity to be able to photograph all those birds. So anyway, now we're off. We're heading towards Latuya Bay, which should be an overnight trip, and we've got to time the currents to get in really exactly. Because they rip in and out at 7 knots each way, and there's a huge surf breakwater entrance, and lots of people are being killed trying to get through here. So we really want to get inside.